freestyles of Alec Fields.
Yeah!
I'm feeling pressure right now.
How's it going? You're gonna tell me this shirt makes me look like Patrick from SpongeBob. You guys agree? I agree. Yeah. It's good to be back up here, really. Like, not just back up on stage. I haven't done comedy for a while. It's good to be back on campus.
5 times, not a while.
Yeah, back in class. Got any freshmen here? Freshmen? Well, you guys are in school. I'm so sorry you didn't get into College Park. I didn't get into College Park either, so it's okay. But I've been there, you know, so I've got some advice for you guys. First of all, if you're ever in like a lecture hall, you'll see they have like those outlets on them for like laptops and things. Oh my God, lecture hall! If you ever want to get out of class, like you're not bombing on an exam, take a paper clip, you see them in that power outlet. Short circuit the room, get out real quick.
Dude, how you put this in a film?
Another piece of
Did you do that on purpose? Oh, Dom,
you guys work for, it's for big enough girls, it works for bigger guys like myself. Take a picture of like a really fat guy, like really fat, like Jared or something like that. And you Photoshop your face onto this picture. Next time you're hitting on a girl, you drop her a line and you go to the gym a lot. And if you're built like me, she'll give you like a little smart remark, like, I'm shaving all the time. Something like that. So, now you have a response to that. That used to just completely defeat me, but now I have a response. Here's my response. So, you guys are getting all the time. So, I mean, I'm not there yet, but I'm doing a lot better than I was 200 pounds ago. They used to call me Alec, are you going to finish that Fields? Since you reject me tonight, I've got a date with about 2,000 Danishes. He's going to be coming back. College, right? Well, what we learn is harder, but at least the process of learning is harder, is easier. And I know it's kind of confusing, so I'll clarify. Like, do you remember elementary school? You'd be writing, pencil would break, you had to face that god-awful pencil sharpener at the back of the classroom. You put your pencil in there, it's like, still. It's always why the teacher was talking to. The teacher was talking like, in the war of 1812, fought in Baltimore. You pull your pencil out, and not only is the pencil not sharp, but it's green because one of the special kids put a crayon in there with no reason. So you pull your pencil out, and it's still not sharp, so you don't know what to do. So you put the pencil, you try a different setting, like a adjuster thing. You know what I'm talking about? The one that starts like at the small setting for like a toothpick, or the giant setting for like one of the novelty baseball bats you get in your baseball game. I always had regular pencil, but I go for the big one. That's how I was when I was a kid. I just tried a bigger setting, but it was awful. The pencil was too small. So I put it in. You pull it out, and you have this like mangled claw at the tip of your pencil. It looks like one of those bugle chips. Remember you ate those? But you've already been up there for like 10 minutes now, so you gotta go back. You gotta go back and start writing, and the tip falls out. So you put the tip back into the pencil. You got like this death grip on the pencil. You're trying to write with that. I mean, a cursive Z was hard enough as it was. I mean, I still can't draw a cursive Z. But when you're trying to draw one with that death grip, it's like next to impossible. That's a lover thing to be like, well, why can't you draw your Z? It's like, because you're too cheap to buy an electric one and you don't trust me with a pen. But I don't know why we weren't trusted with pens. They trusted us not to chop our fingers off with that giant paper cutter at the back of the classroom, but they couldn't trust us with the pens. Couldn't have that. I watched a lot of Discovery Channel when I was a kid. I still watch a lot of Discovery Channel. I'm trying to get in better shape, so I thought maybe like the Discovery Health Channel would be good for me. But the only thing I discovered was that there was nothing healthy about that channel. Like, I was watching a show on there the other day. It was called 90-Pound Tumor. That's what I thought too. And I thought about it. I was like, how do you get a 90-pound tumor? They don't just like pop up. You know, I mean, to get a 90-pound tumor, you had to ignore a 10-pound tumor. Oh, no, it's fine. 25, fine. 75, fine. I'll weigh another 15 pounds. Yeah, weighing another 15 pounds. And then finally, okay, the tumor on the side of me, this like sidecar I've got next to me, is like the size of my 6-year-old kid. Now it's time to get it out. I just didn't, you know. So I was done watching 90-pound tumor. It was over. And they had like a lead-in for the next show. Like, coming up next on Discovery Health Channel, pregnant babies. What is it? Pregnant babies? I'm not watching that show. No. Ridiculous. So I switched the channel, and I was watching on MTV at 16 and Pregnant. You guys ever watch that? Thanks, MTV. I flew back to Discovery Health Channel. I couldn't help myself. They had a show on called 86 and Pregnant. Ooh, and now once you get past the idea of 2 86-year-old people doing it, you start to feel bad for the kids. Because people with like really old parents are always kind of weird, you know? I mean, I knew the kid was there was something about this kid. Because the show I watched, they decided to name him Alistair. And I thought, yeah, that's kind of a badass name. Then I found out his last name was Periwinkle. Alistair Periwinkle. That's a bitch name. Anyway, you got it. I used to live in the dorms. Anybody live in the dorms right now? What dorm you live in? Tower A. Towers. Yeah, they got robbed. Last year. Serious, technical fraudulence. They got robbed. I live in the dorm. I'm done living in the dorms. It's a nice place to visit. I don't want to live there anymore. I did it for 2 years. I'm a junior now. So I got an apartment off campus. You know, it's nice. Walking the campus every day at campus. I work on campus. And you get to know the people that you pass all the time. Like, you know, like the mom with the stroller, the annoyed guy with the dog, the jogger that had way too many sweatpants on. Like, you don't need one around your neck. You know, he wore them anyway. And there was one character that I never like quite understood. She's a like real mystery. She's like older than 60s, 70s. She looked exactly like M from James Bond. You know, James Bond's boss and like GoldenEye, older lady, Judi Dench. And the first thing I realized about this woman was that when she would see me coming towards her on the sidewalk, she would cross the street. And it made me feel bad. I'm not an intimidating guy, I don't think anyway. I got a clean shirt on. I'm not that intimidating. She would cross the street. And what made me feel really bad was that she wouldn't even look for cars when she would cross the street. She would just go. So not only she would rather was getting hit by a car than just pass me on the sidewalk. So I felt bad, but old people are prejudiced and whatever. So I just let it go. And that's I just thought she was a weird old lady. Until one day, right before she went across the street, a bird flew right in front of her. And this was her reaction to the bird. The bird flies in front of her, she goes like this. She was angry at the bird. So I started to think this girl's crazy. Woman. I started to think she's crazy. So I'm telling my friend Matt about it. And he's like, maybe we should just value civility in birds.
Me anyway.
You should not be crazy. Like, are you serious, dude?
Came up with saying hi to.
Because manners in birds are perfectly reasonable expectation to have.
I was just
all things considered. So what we decided, we devised a plan for competitive. Like, we have to know like who's right. We have to know. So we devised this plan to ask her. Next time we saw her at the bus stop, we were going to ask her what time it was. And certainly we get some kind of a response, you know, to figure out exactly what it was that she was all about. So one day we saw her at the bus stop, and I didn't want to say it, but I had to. He was there in person. So I had to. I came up to her and I said, "Man, what time do you have the time?" And she looks at me. And she looks at her watch, which, by the way, there was no watch. It was just her wrist. She looks at me. She says, "Purple." Purple. I was confused. I wasn't sure. You know. What was going on? I said, "Excuse me, ma'am, come again." She said, "Purple Roosevelt." No, this woman's obviously crazy. So I didn't really know exactly what to say, so I said the only thing that came to mind. I said, "Oh, good, because I had a doctor's appointment at Orange Kennedy, and I was worried that I'd be running a little bit late." Ladies and gentlemen, Alec Fields. Thank you.